Welcome to the running journey, guys. I'm Rob Tatro. This is a pretty special, this is episode 101, pretty special episode you're about to listen to. The most exciting thing I've ever done in my life, for sure. The craziest thing. I'm going to run 7 marathons, 7 days in 7 continents with my brother, Charlie, and we leave for that in less than a week. So crazy that we're doing this. We're going to Antarctica. We're going to Cape Town, Perth, Dubai, Madrid, Fortaleza in Brazil, Miami. And we got to do this all on like no sleep, no hotel. Well, we'll be sleeping in planes. And anyways, crazy thing we're doing. We're chatting about that in this episode. Charlie and I were also talking about the damage that the 100-miler did to us, both of us. I talk about some of the struggles I had since then. We talk about some of our goals in the 7 marathon, 7 days, 7 continents. Some of those are pretty interesting. We also talk about what we want to get out of this adventure. Running in the cold. Dude, it's way colder in Winnipeg now than it will be in Antarctica by about 30 degrees. So we're excited for the balmy life in Antarctica. This is episode 101. I'm Rob, my brother Charlie. Enjoy the episode. Okay, great. I pressed the record button, so now I know that we started this episode.
C'est beau, Robert.
C'est beau. All right. Today we're talking about 777. You haven't heard us. Well, I don't know. Have they heard us talk much about this? We were pretty focused on that backyard for the longest time. This might be, well, this is definitely by a million miles the most exciting, exhilarating, crazy thing I've ever done. I don't know about you. It's got to be.
Yeah, no, this is exciting, super exciting.
There's nothing like this, right?
Yeah, no, it's to have the opportunity to do this. Yeah, pretty lucky. So
yeah, we're pretty lucky to be able to do this kind of thing. So I don't want to understate it. If anything, because we're hosting a podcast, we have to overstate it, right? We have to fake enthusiasm. No, but it's we had so many things for so long over the last year that we've kind of I signed up for this over a year ago. I signed up for this in 2023. So I've been waiting a very long time to do this. So I'm really jacked to be running 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents, 168 hours. We're going to start in Antarctica. We're going to go to Cape Town. We're going to run a marathon in Perth, Australia. We're going to go to Dubai. Did you see where we're running in Dubai? Anyways.
Yeah, it's on the little, the
Palm.
I call it the dock. What is it called? What's the actual name?
I think they call it Madeira Island or Palm Island. I think it's Palm Island.
Made out of gold, basically, right?
Well, it's made out of sand, but then it's like the wealthiest piece of real estate on the planet kind of thing. And it's just like they created an island in the middle of the ocean and they shaped it like a palm, and it's high rises, and that's where we're going to run. So that's pretty cool. Then we go after that to Madrid, Fortaleza. Am I saying that right?
Fortaleza, I think.
Fortaleza.
I know it's in Brazil, but I don't know where in Brazil.
And then we finish in Miami. So we will be doing 7 marathons, 7 days, 7 continents. A lot of people have been asking me a lot of questions about this. Like, how did you book flights to do all this? How are you going to organize your nutrition? How did you find a marathon on a Tuesday? How did you? So the first thing we need
questions.
to tell.
Good questions. Yeah.
We're not participating in the Antarctica Marathon or the Perth Marathon. We are part of a travel tourism company that puts on an event for us. There's 68 runners, 64 runners,
maybe 68. Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever. There's 64 runners, and we are part of a crew, and it's the same 64 runners that are going to run, and they're putting on these races one by one for us. So it's going to be like we got to get to Cape Town first to start. By the way, I've never been to any of these places except Miami. Been to Miami, but I've not been to. Have I been to Madrid? I don't know if I've been to Madrid, but I don't think so. So I've not been to any of these places. Never mind. I've not done 5 of the 7 continents. You've at least done. We've talked about this in another episode, but you've done like Asia, I think, and you've done Africa, yeah. I think.
No, I haven't done Africa.
South America.
I haven't done Africa and Antarctica and Australia. The other 4 I've done.
Yeah, so I only have 2 continents done, and Antarctica, You know, when you
I
were
mean,
young and you're like,
Antarctica, it's not a real continent. Like, I guess it is maybe, but
I think it's a real continent, Charlie. It was like when you were young and you were talking about Antarctica, there was never like a time where for me, there was never a time where I thought I would go there.
we used to make, didn't we like used to make jokes about it when we were kids? I don't remember, but we talked about Antarctica a bit.
Oh, we talked about it for sure, but it was never like real. It was as real as me doing a marathon. Like it was, or as me qualifying for Boston.
Yeah, we'd say something like, "I'm going to move to Antarctica," but
Yeah. So I've been, you've probably gone down the rabbit hole of what's in Antarctica. Have you kind of gone down that rabbit hole?
No, I feel like there's nothing in Antarctica. There's just like a couple tents and scientists. But I
No,
could be
so
wrong.
that's the thing.
Are there buildings?
So Antarctica has right now about 4,000 people that live there.
Wow, almost St. Anne, Ryan Bram.
Yeah, they have like commerce. They have the McMurdo Station is kind of the largest city in Antarctica. It's got like if you pull up, just take a look at what this looks like. McMurdo Station. It looks like a city. It looks like St. Anne or whatever. It looks like a city, a northern city, because it's like the housing looks very like Nunavut or Northwest Territories-esque. But there's like coffee shops and there's ATMs and there. Yeah, it's crazy. I asked ChatGPT this. By the way,
even at the Novo station?
No, sorry. I'm talking about McMurdo Station. It would be like the Winnipeg of Antarctica, and we're going to, let's say.
Well, like, really, it's more like the Woodridge of the Piney area.
Okay, and we're going to like Sardo.
Yeah.
We're going to Flavesey. We're going to Bedford. There's like have you seen kind of the station where we're going? We're going to Novo Station. So
it's very hard to find. I find it really hard to find information about Antarctica.
Okay, well, I guess I've spent some time. I think if you probably just, anyways, you can find stuff about where we're going. You can find it on a map. Yeah, it's 12 kilometers from kind of a larger spot, which has a bit of housing and permanent housing and stuff. And we're going just to the air base and the landing strip. Mm-hmm. And that's where we're running our marathon. And there's a few buildings there where we're at. But if you look at Novo Station, Antarctica, you can zoom in on maps. You can Google right to it.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. So you can
quite a bit of elevation, -2 right now. It's like that's a t-shirt weather over there.
Have you looked at the weather in Antarctica? I sent you the weather, right? Have you looked at
it? Yeah. No, it's a dream come true compared to what we're at right now. Can we talk about how bad how cold it's been here?
Let's go.
I froze my face off like a million times here.
Dude, I'm not going outside. I don't know. Like I'm so miserable about this weather. It's terrible. It's shitty. Why do we live here?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes it tougher for the Antarctica marathons. Maybe it'll feel like I'll have to run it in a t-shirt because I'm so used to -40 wind chill now.
So it was like +4, +5 last week, +6. Today the high was 4 at Novo Station where we're running.
Yeah, I'm running it in shorts, I guess. Yeah,
that's shorts. That's 4 degrees max effort. It'll be close to shorts, right? The low is 0, but we're going to be running it right at like midday, I think, or I got to pull up the schedule. But it's we are running that at 1 p.m. So yeah, it's going to be warm. It's going
to be too hot. Good thing I do heat training.
Yeah, that's where you're going to do your heat training. So now it does cool up over the next week. I don't know if you looked at the 14-day forecast.
No, I haven't.
Next Friday, the low is -6, and the high is only -2.
That's beautiful.
So, I know, it's crazy. I keep thinking about like the emails we're getting. How like, do I need goggles? Do I need 5 pairs of socks? Do I need like a battery operated heat mittens? No, you don't. You're like,
well, I mean, maybe if you're not accustomed to it, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess for sure.
But they are overdressed a little bit. Those Texans, I gotta admit, that one. Well,
I ran in Phoenix a couple of weeks back or 3 weeks ago, and I took a picture of a guy because I didn't believe what he was wearing. It was 21 or something. He was wearing a toque, mitts, and a jacket. And I went out I was bare chest. I had no shirt on. It was a gorgeous day in Phoenix.
Yeah.
It was sunny, and he had Took's mitt in the jacket. I took a photo, and I was just like, what does this guy wear in his house? What temperature does his house? Like, what's happening? And I don't understand. Like,
we do run a little hot though, Rob.
We run a little hot in what sense?
We just get warm quickly.
Oh yeah, okay. Because of we're here, or because you and I are naturally warm?
Just naturally like that, I think.
Yeah, but I've lost that. I used to be a furnace. My wife says that I like since I lost weight.
Yeah. Me too. But still, like, yeah.
Okay.
I think we're still kind of furnaces, but not as much as we used to be. Yeah.
It's crazy the level of free. So we are in a chat. Charlie and I are in a chat with 65 other runners that are going to be doing this race, and like. I get it. They're asking like questions like how many layers and like snow goggles but like have they pulled up the wet? I guess they just don't know how cold -6 degrees is, right? If you've never been in -6.
Well, I mean, I don't know if there's a lot of wind, -6 can be pretty cold, but like if you've ever been to Newfoundland,
I've not.
Yeah, it can feel really cold even though it's like -2, but
yeah, sunny and no wind pretty much.
Yeah, the wind is the key factor there, right? But
yeah, and I pulled up like 5 or 6 different weather apps just to see if they're all saying the same thing. They're comparable. They're not all the same thing, but like the wind today, next Friday, 4 meters per second. I don't know what that is.
Divide times 3.6.
So it's like 12 miles an hour. Kilometers or miles?
3,600 seconds. So yeah, 3.6 kilometers. So sorry, multiply by 3.6 kilometers an hour.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess there could some days are 10.
Well, 12 is not like, I mean, 12 is, you feel it, but it's not going to kill you.
Well, especially not at 0 degrees, right?
Yeah. If it'd be -25, that'd be a different story. But,
yeah. So next Friday is projected to be, we run in Antarctica next Friday. The weather is projected to be -6 with a high of -2. So that's a colder day.
So the thing that'll be hard about the Antarctica Marathon to me is not the cold, it's the surface. Like, so did you look at kind of the videos? It's like Falcon Lake.
I did.
Yeah.
So and that can be very tough if it's they just had the Frozen Falcon, and Joel said it was the best conditions ever. Guys were doing loops and
because it was cold.
Because it was cold-ish, but not too cold that it was unbearable, right? It was -10 or
15 but something. It compacts more when it's cold.
It compacts, right? And it kind of freezes, and there wasn't like ice underneath. It was just hard snow that was packed. I'm aware that it's going to be no fun if it's slushy and if it melted the night before.
Yeah, and the thing that I noticed when I did Frozen Falcon is like every loop it got worse and worse and we're doing loops, so I feel like it's going to be the hardest part will be the surface there. So I still haven't figured out, like, I want to bring like 3 shoes and like 3 pairs of shoes and test them out. Like, I don't know which shoes to wear.
Yeah, obviously you'll do that, right? You will bring.
Well, I don't know how much time do we have, like, time to go test out the running in Antarctica?
Yeah. Like, did you look at flight time, landing time?
I thought we would immediately started running the marathon as soon as we landed, pretty much.
No.
That's not how it works. You get an hour.
It says that the race starts at projected race start time at 1:00, and we land at 11:30. So we'll have it says we'll have an hour and a half. I don't know how well we can trust this schedule, but the flights, they have to book those in with the Air Academy, whatever flight control. So like it says we leave at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
So like we'll have an hour. I don't know if we'll have an hour and a half, but it says we'll have an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So like I'm going to bring 3. Yeah. I'm debating between either trail, my regular shoes with the, what do you call it? The capon, the hooks.
Yeah.
Or
the
like
spikes.
If it's beautiful, the spikes, or if it's beautiful, like Alpha Flies, right?
I'm really debating using the Alpha Flies. Like, I think
in Iceland, Antarctica.
In Antarctica, because I feel like from what I've seen in the videos, it's not a matter of grip. It's a matter of like being able to get out of the snow. And I feel like the Alpha Flies would push me out of the snow the most.
the other thing is it's, what is it, 4 loops there? I forget.
10 loops.
10 loops. So you could just leave shoes at the thing, and if you don't like your first
switch
loop,
them. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll bring like 3 pairs and test them out.
Yeah. So, but okay, yeah. I should maybe back up a little bit. Like, obviously Antarctica is the most exciting one to talk about, but I can't believe the panic, the level of panic that people are having over. And maybe it won't be the cold. It won't be the cold unless all these weather apps are dramatically wrong.
Well, did you see the video in the chat of the guy who won it in 2016 or something?
Is that the year he was in shorts?
Yeah. So he ran it in the video is showing him, he finishes it all in shorts, but he's running like a 250 or something. Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, we're close to ideal weather here. Close.
Right? Yeah, but the surface is not great. Like, it looks terrible.
Agreed.
Yeah.
The surface looks terrible, but just weather.
Weather-wise is not terrible. To me, if it's -10, like, that's a bit cold, but it's not terrible.
It won't be -10 middle of the day when the highs are all 0, 1, and 2 for every day in the last month. The high's been 0, 1, or 2.
So what are your thoughts on they're requiring us to bring like either goggles or shades? I'm not a big fan of wearing them. I feel like I've never actually worn them, and I've grown up in Winnipeg where it's flat and there's snow, and I just like squint. I'm okay with squinting.
I'm a non-shades guy.
Yeah, same here. So, I mean, I'll bring them just in case, but I feel like if I can get away with not wearing them, I don't want to wear them.
They can't force you to wear shades. Like I don't know. I can't.
No, they can't force you. But if I feel like I'm wrong and I actually do need them.
I think you bring them. I think you bring them for the first loop. You put them on top of your head. And if you need them, you drop them down. If you don't, you drop them after the first loop.
Yeah. That's going to be my plan, yeah.
I'm not wearing goggles, though, if I don't wear those when it's -35.
So I wore them today.
Yeah, well, today is cold. Talk about how cold it's been. Sorry, you wanted to go down
the last 2 days, it was like, I think it hit pretty close to -40 wind chill.
Weather. Like, no. So it was, I looked it up. It was -47 Winnipeg Airport, official wind chill, -47 yesterday morning.
Yeah, I had like an asthma attack when I was running. I don't know. It was like, because the air was so cold, like it was like I don't know. We haven't had that many cold days this year, so maybe
we get it every year. We live here, we choose to live here, so we can't complain. We're not complaining. I think we're bragging how tough we are, I think is what we're doing here. But like we get 2 of these weeks a year, maybe 3, where it actually gets -35-ish or whatever. Real temperature.
Well, like, some years you get way more. Like
we get -40.
Like 1997 and 2008. I'm just inventing years, but 97 for sure.
Yeah, we get -40s sometimes once a year, maybe. Is that fair?
I would say once a year, but some years way more.
Twice, 3 times. Sometimes we get a whole week of -40. And when it gets -40, if you get a cold wind, you can get into the -55 or 60 with the wind chill, in which case you really can't go outside. Like, you're not running in that. You're not taking your dog for a walk. You're not like, you can't really go outside. It's arguably worse than Phoenix at 130 degrees in the summer, right? Probably. What's worse?
I think they're pretty close. I wouldn't mind. I don't know 130, so 130 sounds awful.
Like, you can't be outside for more than a few minutes, right? Because you just.
I don't know.
Maybe this is how they feel with respect to the weather. They're like us with 130. We're like, we couldn't. And they're like, oh, it's not, come on. Right? Maybe it's a similar thing. But either way, we get -40 regularly in Winnipeg. This is a week of -35. It's funny because Michelle sent me a text and it said extreme cold warning today, -27 or whatever. And then it said 13 degrees warmer than yesterday.
Yeah.
There's something like that in the.
Today's warm.
Balmy day. So it's been really cold, and I sound like a complaining festival about the weather, but I'm getting older, Charlie, and I'm getting softer, I think. I don't know. I'm getting softer, and these trips down south over the Christmas break, last year San Diego and Phoenix, this year in LA the year before, I just feel like they've got it figured out there. Like, that's that
I was like, last year I went to Slovenia, which isn't even that warm, and it felt so good just because it wasn't freezing, you know.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're freezing right now for freezing, and now we're about to go do 7 marathons, of which 5 of them will be above 20 degrees probably.
Yeah, I'm way more worried about every one of those than the Antarctica one.
Do you? So I'm guessing you have your weather app and you've done what I've done, which is like all the cities that will be.
Yeah, but I haven't been looking at it.
Well, Perth is mental. Like I don't like Perth.
Well, that's the one we're doing at 4 a.m. though, I think.
The lows some days are 27, 28.
Extreme heat warnings right now.
Yeah, and the highs are always in the 39s and 40s, like 30. Wow.
So did you do so Patrick gave you a bunch of heat training to do? Did you do any?
I haven't been running.
Forgot. Sorry.
So no, I haven't. No, that's all right. So the heat. So go ahead.
I want to talk about my heat training.
But wait, we'll talk about your heat training in a sec. But first, we got to back up quickly and I just want to set the stage for what we'll be doing. So we have to get to Cape Town first.
Yeah.
The directors meeting is next week on the Thursday,
29th.
Wednesday. So we leave on the Monday, the 27th. We fly overnight. We get to Cape Town. Cape Town's kind of like the home base to get started. Everyone's got to fly to Cape Town. Then we fly to Antarctica, and we start in Antarctica, but we got to fly from Cape Town. So we got to do a days of travel before we start doing 7 days of travel. So we're going to do Cape Town, but at least we have 2 days in Cape Town to chill. So we should figure out what we're going to do in Cape Town, something fun and
sleep, catch up on sleep.
Yeah, but also got to do something. I don't know what there is to do in Cape Town. We'll probably figure it out, but
jog some miles.
Jog some miles. Yeah, for sure. So Cape Town, we fly to Cape Town, and then on the morning of the 31st, we fly to Antarctica. That's a 5.5 hour flight, I believe. Yeah, 5 hour flight from Cape Town to Antarctica. We run the marathon in Antarctica, and then no showers. Back on the plane.
Antarctica has no showers, yeah.
But there is in McMurdo, but not.
Yeah, we're just going to be sweaty on that Antarctica plane, I guess.
5.5 hours, no big deal. I'm guessing. If it's actually 0 degrees, Charlie, you could actually just shower in the snow.
Go take a dive in the snow.
Yeah. Just have a towel and dive in the snow. And then home base, then we come back. And then from that point, we're on the same plane after that.
Yeah.
But the flight to Antarctica, Oliver told me, no, the flight to and from Antarctica is the same jet that Metallica used for their most recent world tour or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
They must have had a big entourage,
I guess. And it lands on the runway in Novo, where we're going to be in Antarctica, and we get out of the plane. You're going to test your shoes, and we're going to run.
Start line.
Okay, so we talked about the cold in Antarctica. Was there on the cold front? Okay, so you're worried about obviously but layers won't be an issue. You know how to run in 0 degrees. You've done it 1,000 times in your life. So it's just really the terrain and maybe a sun factor that you're not aware of. Is it possible that
the blinding? Could the sun blind me? Could that be a thing?
You'll have shades.
I feel like I've spent we'd spend entire days playing hockey outside. And on the ice.
Be white forever there on that pond in the back of our shed.
I feel like that's not going to be a problem, but maybe I don't know.
But if it is, that's fine. You'll have shades and
close by. And I have my goggles too, just in case or whatever. Yeah.
I don't own a pair of goggles and not bringing one, so
yeah.
Okay, so you're good for that. You and the elements. I'm actually really looking forward to the Antarctica one. I'm looking forward to all of them, but I'm excited about that. Then we get on a plane and we have a 14-hour flight from Cape Town to Perth, which is on the west coast of Perth, and we're passing through Mauritius. Or am I pronouncing that right? Mauritius?
Île de la Mauricie.
Yeah, it's. Do you know where that is, by the way? I googled it.
On the side of Africa, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just east of Madagascar.
Yeah.
So it's just a short stop
Yeah,
there.
Udivin was from there.
Oh, really? Okay. It's very French. Udivin Leroux. So anyways, I guess the plane can't make 14 hours. So they got a pit stop. We go to Mauritius, and then we go to Perth, home of the 40-degree highs every single day for the last month. One of the guys in the chat is like, yeah, it's 40 degrees here every day. But we're running that at
4
When
a.m.
was that race?
4 a.m. I think.
Race time?
I believe 4 a.m. I should
8:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. it says.
Oh, that's not bad. Well, I mean, it's going to be still warm then.
Yeah, you're going to finish at midnight. But I mean, we don't really have much choice, right? Because they got to keep moving us along, right? So Perth at 8:30 p.m. is still very hot. You're close
that's
to
going to be, that might be the worst one. I think that's going to be the worst one.
That's going to be the worst one. That's going to be hotter than Dubai because I checked Dubai. And anyways, so Perth, heat wave on the ocean. By the way, did you tune into the race meeting there a few weeks back?
I did. No, sorry.
You watched the YouTube video.
I watched the video, yeah.
What do you think of it?
I feel
like the course.
I would have asked way different questions, but yeah.
But I mean, I just text Oliver. He answers me all the time.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. That's a perfect way to deal with it. Yeah.
Well,
so some questions, do you know, like, how we handle our equipment throughout? Like, that's one of the things that I'm a little confused about. So they want you to have a bag for each race, but yeah, I feel like I can do that, but I feel like so I had horrible experiences with chafing this week, practicing new gear out that I thought might work. I've got like 2 sets of gear that works for marathons. And
yeah, you'll just rotate between them, right?
Well, that's what I want to do, but like it might be a little gross, but
I think that like, could you not just rinse it in water and dry it in 30-degree weather while you're running in Perth while you're doing the marathon? Is that doable?
Yeah, I think that's
what I'm gonna be practical. None of this.
The other thing is, like, do we need shirts for these 1,000,000-degree marathons?
I don't know. I looked at the video. I didn't see that many people in tarps off.
No one had tarps off. Okay, so I guess we need shirts.
So obviously pennies, I guess. How many pennies do you have? One?
What do you mean pennies?
Whatever they're called. What do you call them? Singlets?
Oh, I wish. Yeah, I only have one, and it makes me chafe. And sorry, I bought 2, and I tested it out, and they make me chafe. So I'm not gonna wear them.
Yeah, I have like 3 shirts that I really like that I want to run in. I guess I'm rotating. Whatever, we'll figure it out. But I mean, okay, I'm going to ask him that about the handling of the luggage because, well, they can't. Like, you're worried that your big suitcase will be underneath or something, and you're not going to have.
Well, I'm sure there's got to be a way, like, to transfer stuff from your big suitcase to when you're going to use it, right?
Well, yeah, because like
there has to be a way. I just don't know the details of how that happens, right? So I guess we're pulling it out of the plane after every marathon.
I would think so. Pulling out of the plane, you kind of open it there, take the stuff you want out,
take whatever you need,
put it back, and it goes back underneath.
My plan was to like put all my shoes in my carry-on so that I have always the different options for shoes.
Yeah, but you're okay. Aside from Antarctica,
yeah,
you're gonna wear your vapors or your alphas, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick 2 pairs and just alternate.
Yeah, so you don't need you can run a marathon in those shoes in any road condition.
Old faithful alphas. I mean,
yeah, you don't need 2 pairs of shoes for Perth.
So a story about those. So I hadn't run in my 700-mile Alpha Flies in like 2 months, and I decided to do my long run with those like 2-3 weeks ago, and they felt so good. Like, still 700 miles. Like, those are just, for me, they're like just feel so good running in those Alpha Flies. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, I have one pair. Well, I felt like that with my Alpha Flies ones, but the back got so cut up, and so now I'm getting a blister from part of the fabric disconnected and is broken, so it rubs. it's like over, like I guess they've worn down and they're not as good in the back of the heel.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It's just
so mine like it's like coming apart in the front, and like you can kind of see air between, like it's like the front is ripping up, but it still feels really comfortable. My Vaporflies, on the other hand, all rip on the side after like 600 miles.
What size do you wear?
10.5.
Okay.
I used to wear 10s, but I went up to 10.5.
My whole life, I was always like half a size bigger than you, right? Roughly in shoes.
Yeah.
And I could squeeze into you one day if I needed to. It wasn't the end of the world. Curl toes. And you, if you took the wrong pair, it wasn't a big deal. But it's almost like, so now my Vapors are 10.5s. What do you wear in Vapors? Yeah.
10.5. I always order 10.5s, no matter what.
All my other Nikes are 11, and I have one pair of 11.5. But those Vapors I put in. Anyways, the reason I was asking is my Meta Speeds that I bought in Chicago.
Yeah, how do they feel?
They're too small.
Too small. And you got the same size, 10.5 or 11?
I don't know. They're just too small. So I got
perfect. Thanks. I'll take
I wore them for 4 miles.
Wow. Yeah, I'll buy them off of you.
You could have them. You could have them. So they're
what size?
I'm guessing they're 10.5s.
I remember though, I think you may have it was like a rush.
Oh, it was a rush. 100%.
There wasn't a lot of you. You may have bought some that were like, close enough.
I tried them on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And honestly, when I was running with them, they felt unbelievable. The first thing, oh, wow, these are awesome shoes. Because I know Colin Lafreniere said he doesn't like them, or someone else told me they didn't like them. So I was kind of skeptical a little bit. And I tried them. I loved them. And then like mile 2, I was like, these are a little small. And then mile 3, at the end, I had like blisters all over the front. It was just, my toes were not good.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to wear them again.
Perfect.
So those are like brand new. Anyways, I could drop them off, or if you want to try them before, if you like them. Anyways, you're probably not going to bring those anyways, or will you? Would you bring those? Brand new Metas?
Maybe.
So I'm either going to go, like, there's no way to get Vaporflies today, right?
Well, if you order them from Nike, it's going to take a week, 2 weeks at least.
But there might be a Nike store in Cape Town.
There might be. I don't know.
That's crazy. That I was going through my shoes yesterday. And I was like, I have no shoes. What happened to all my shoes? I have like, but
you have like 20 pairs.
But it's actually true, because now I rotated out my Alpha Flies. They're out. My New Balance Cheaters don't fit so good.
I feel like I only have one pair of shoes right now that's race worthy.
Same. Mind you,
I mean, I have a lot of nice shoes. I won't say I've got no shoes, but I think I've only got one pair that I think.
No, but if you had to qualify for Boston tomorrow, how many pairs would you be comfortable racing in? One.
Zero, because again, so I have no shoes either. So I have those Alpha Fly 3s that I like. I'm just not as confident in them as I was with my Alpha Fly 2s, which I love my Alpha Fly 2s, but one pair's got 300 miles and the other pair's got 700. So I think
like
that's
the Alpha Fly 2s.
We're
sounding like shoe snobs a little bit, but it's like hashtag real world problems, first world problems, whatever it's called.
I like all shoes. It's just that I really love these shoes. It's more of a love affair. I don't know that I love these shoes as much as I love my bike, but it's pretty close.
What are the Vaporfly 3s again? What do those look like? Is that the one pair I bought in Chicago?
You love them. I'm not a big fan.
The 2s. I love them.
I'm not a big fan of it, but you ran really good races with the 3s, I think.
I've only run one time with them. I've only put them on once. It was in Chicago.
No, you ran the 10 and 10 with those Vaporfly 3s.
I bought them in Chicago, Charlie.
Okay, well, you have two pairs.
I thought they were 2s, the other pair that I have.
Those are 3s. Those are
both 3s? Okay, because I was
pretty sure those are 3s.
No, those are 2s. Those are 2s.
No, those are 3s.
I was checking my Nike.
Let's move on.
Very valuable. They are 3s. I just checked my Nike app. Yeah, they're 3s. Okay, well, I love those shoes.
Yeah, you like the 3s. I don't. I know that.
Okay, but the second pair that I bought of threes, they're not the same as the first pair.
Oh,
I don't know what's different about them, but
yeah,
I think one has the X or something on them, Zoom X or something. Slightly different. I do like, so my original pair of threes, those are the best shoes I've ever had. Okay, so so I'm going to bring 2 pairs of race shoes, a pair of trail shoes in case I need them in Antarctica. And in fact,
you need jogging shoes for the days before. We're going to go jogging before.
Yeah, but I'll jog in my trail shoes.
Okay.
Because then you can go anywhere. You don't have to worry about it. And I'll bring my crampons and I'll tie them to my trail shoes if ever I need them.
Yeah.
So that saves them.
I'm not bringing those.
You're not bringing your crampons?
The only time I think that they're useful to me is when you're running on like
slippery on ice.
Pure ice.
What if we get that, Charlie? It'll be 1 degree. If it melts, it creates a like a melted water ice path.
I'm ready to risk it.
Like we did at the hypothermic?
Yeah.
Ice everywhere.
Just gonna go for it.
Yeah. Don't turn mid-stride, Rob. Just keep going straight.
Do not change your speed. Do not change your speed.
Don't change your speed or your direction at any times on ice. It's like driving a car. Okay, so shoes, and then Perth. I was talking about Perth. So then we have a flight to Perth. Then we're running on the ocean in Perth. That looks pretty cool, right on the ocean in Perth. Then we have a 12-hour flight to Dubai.
Did you notice one of the things I noticed is our time at each location is either 11 or 12 hours. That's how much time we are at each location.
Well, time in city in hours? No, we're 15 hours in Antarctica, 14 in Cape Town.
Sorry, 14 or 13. That's what I meant.
Yeah, except Dubai. We have 19 hours in Dubai.
Do we
I think
really?
it's because...
No, 2 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Sorry. I'm looking at so 14 hours. Sorry, 14 hours. Dubai.
Yeah, they're all 14 or 13, I thought.
Well, yeah, because we have 10 hours of flights on average, right? So it's basically, there is no other time. It's flying or time.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess
could have spent more nights, slept one space maybe, and banked some time.
No, I'm not saying. It was just interesting that we have always like that kind of same amount of time at each location where it'll be nice to, I mean, maybe we can do a couple things in those locations in 14 hours. I don't know, run a marathon and do something.
Zero chance. You think you're going to go out and explore and stuff?
Yeah, go see the sights.
I don't know if we don't even have a hotel in any of these places.
Yeah, I know. My wife wants me to take pictures as I'm running.
Well, I'll wear my GoPro, I think, for at least one loop for each of the places.
Yeah. That's good.
So at least we'll have like one loop of, like Dubai. I think it's called Madeira Island. Googling right now. Not Madeira. Palm Island? They call it Palm Jebel Ali. Yeah, it's one of those. It looks so cool. The Palm Jumeirah is the name of the island. Sorry, I was close. And we're running right on the beach of that Palm Jumeirah. I've never been to Dubai, and that's exciting. That is going to be, what did ChatGPT tell me? I know that they have projected temperature there, but their projected temperature is not accurate. Well, it's probably based on historical averages, but I asked ChatGPT to look up the current weather, and like Dubai, I think at what time are we running Dubai? It's 6 p.m. the projected race start. So in Dubai at 6 p.m. It's like it's going to be. We're actually in for a cold spell in Dubai. Like highs of 22, 23, because I guess it's winter there.
Perfect. No, is it? No, they're northern hemisphere.
Yeah, we are in the winter right now.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right.
So highs of 24, lows of 16. Like, it's not great, but it's like Boston Marathon.
Not terrible.
Yeah, it'll be hot, but I think we can function with that. Madrid will be the second coldest one.
Well,
we then have an 8 out.
It's going to be the most comfortable.
The one you're going to go low? You're going to go low in Madrid?
Well, go sub 4.5.
All I know is I'm done making predictions that didn't go well in my 100 miler. So I'm I'm done making predictions. I will ask you about predictions at the end of this, but
I predict that I will finish everyone.
I also predicted I will finish everyone. So highs of 9, lows of 2 and 3 while we're there. So that's awesome. Fortaleza is hot, but again, kind of 30 and sunny every day. The high, the low 25.
Yeah, that one's going to be hot. That one's going to be hot, I think, because it's 8 a.m. start.
Yeah, 7 a.m. start.
That one's going to be hot.
Yeah, so by 11 a.m. it is already, it's 30 degrees by 11 a.m. So
that's going to be the worst. Fortaleza will be the hardest one.
Yeah,
Except it's on the coast, so it's on the coast, so maybe doesn't feel as hot?
They're all on the coast, eh? Did you notice that? They're all on the or the coast.
Hello.
Is that mixed?
What's up? Okay.
Mikael's telling me some stories. Miami Beach is also. So then we have an 8-hour. The shortest flight is 5 hours, and all the other ones are 8 to 14 hours. It's crazy. But the Miami Beach spot is a cool spot. I've jogged that.
Okay.
Mikael, lots of love.
Yeah, the kids are loving. Okay. All right. Sorry.
No, it's no worries, man. No worries. So, what do you think is unique? Okay, what do you think is unique about? Do you think there's anything unique about each race? I guess it's going to be road marathons, different cities. I wonder how much we'll be able to actually. Like, are you going to feel like you've been to Australia if you go to Perth?
Yeah, I think you'll get a different vibe. They're through the cities too, right? So like
because we're going to do customs and all that, right?
Yeah. So I feel it'll be nice that it'll be different types of people and
What do you feel about fueling? Are you a little worried about food and fueling? You'll just eat whatever.
Hopefully I starve.
Hopefully you starve. What does that mean?
Just a joke. Like I've got so much built up excess fat.
No, but you can't. You need to be going. Joel sent me a podcast, the latest Huberman one. I don't know if you listened to it. He's saying that the Norwegians, they've kind of cracked this, they've hacked 140 grams of carbs an hour. They're doing the Norwegians when they're doing their backyards, their triathlons, their Ironmans. Well, all the Norwegians are winning at everything.
I did pretty close to that during my Ironman, but
140? That's like
120.
6 gels an hour.
I did 120 on the bike.
Okay. That's.
But I'm not going to do that for an Ironman for this.
No. I'm just saying that this is what they're doing now, and they're convinced that this is. But I think.
Well, it takes one element out of the equation, right? Like, so when you start running out of glycogen, then things become harder, right? So I think if the more carbs you're able to take, obviously it helps in these types of longer events. I like marathon is not that long, but
I thought they had kind of figured out that the most the body could decompose was X amount per hour, and anything over was kind of a burden on the digestive system and all that. Did I miss? Or did they just change their opinion on that?
No clue.
Okay.
I think there would be a maximum where
maybe the normal person has a different number.
It puts more of a strain on you than it helps you.
Yeah,
like,
and
I know that if I eat too much the night before, it will definitely hurt me more than under eating. And I think a lot of people is the opposite, but like for me, the night before, if I overeat, I feel terrible the next day. It makes it so.
I think that's a different calculation than what to eat during a race.
Yeah, but I think it's that happens when I go over the amount that I can process, right?
Yeah, and that was always the risk, but like. I feel like that number just keeps going up and up. Every time I see someone or listen to a pod, they're always saying more and more carb. When I started doing marathons, not that long ago, 3 years ago, they were saying like 80 or 70 or 60, right? Not that long ago.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people get more than 60 in marathons.
Yeah. So anyways, you're not worried about eat. You'll eat whatever the heck they have. You're just gonna crush food, and it's kind of neat that they're just gonna feed us on the plane and food everywhere and gel and like candy bars.
I mean, I'm gonna bring gels for the races, and that's it.
How many gels are you gonna bring?
I'm bringing a whole box, 48, I guess.
Yeah, but that's still only 6.5 per race.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so 1.5. So that's like, and you'll do the rest like with the food they have on site.
Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna stress out too much about that.
Okay.
How about you? Are you stressed about that?
Well, I'm not stressed. I know how I felt when I was doing Run with Rob and I was eating a ton and I just felt so good. And I've never, I don't know. I read this book, this Dave Proctor guy who's did the fastest transcontinental, the amount of calories he was doing, and this podcast, it just got me rethinking my strategy of a gel every half hour, like, or 40 minutes. I'm wondering if I'm bigger guy.
I think like you can do every 20 minutes. Like I think some people do like 20 or 25 minutes, but
or even 15.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Anyways,
for sure. I don't think it would hurt if you could do it. I think it would probably help, but I'm like, yeah, I guess I'm not worried as much about my performance for these. I'm just worried.
Okay.
I just want to keep like.
But one of the things that is for sure a worry is not recovering as well because you're undernourished, right? Because it's a ton you're gonna have to eat, right?
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like sleep is probably more important to recovery than I'm way more worried about sleep than I am about
right.
food.
But that's a fact. I mean, like food, you can at least check it off the list if you just eat enough, right?
Yeah, but you could eat too much and then
you're not gonna eat too much.
Maybe.
I don't think that's a real possibility.
Well,
I don't know. I'm just telling you, I've done 2 of these, and
like, that
was not.
You're right. So that's great because I've eaten too much for like such a long
time.
Okay,
let me clarify. The eating too much to impact your sleep is possible.
Or at the wrong time.
Yeah, that's possible. That's like if you crush a prime roast beef dinner right before like trying to get to bed, I mean, it might help you fall asleep, but it might it might hurt the quality of your sleep or something. Right? For sure. Yeah. So that is a fact. I don't want to I've rethought it and I don't want to undersell that for sure. And sleep, you're just going to do what you can whenever you can.
I've been thinking of bringing apparently melatonin. So I've been researching sleep a lot.
Chad has been researching this.
Yeah.
He's told me the same thing. He's told me all these same things.
So melatonin for when you travel apparently can actually help. So it's not a proven thing for like just general use case for people our age, but for when you travel, like basically when you want to fall asleep, generally what happens is your body usually generally produces a lot of melatonin right at the time where you want to fall asleep in normal situations. But when you're traveling, that the time when you want to sleep changes because you're like different time zones and things like that. So one solution is to artificially trigger sleep by giving yourself melatonin.
You would never consider like a sleeping pill?
No, never. Never. So there's so much research now saying how bad that is to do. So.
Okay. See, I didn't know about the research. I just doesn't seem like a good idea.
I mean, I have done like, so for races.
NyQuil?
For races before, yeah, I've done like, not NyQuil, but something similar, like, like cold stuff, like Neocitrin or something.
Like 2 days before or the night before?
Just the night before, yeah.
Wow. That feels like a risk.
Yeah, it's worked out the times that I've done it, but
Because it's got like it wears off by the time you're racing, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So melatonin. Where do you buy melatonin? You just buy it at the grocery store?
Yeah, I think.
You,
No, I'm
you
not
don't need a
sure where.
prescription for that? Have you bought yours yet?
I have melatonin here. I don't use melatonin. I heard it
Okay.
was a
What
thing
does
that you
that
could
look
do.
like? It's a powder, like a protein powder type
No,
thing?
it's pills, like little
Oh, it's
pills. It's
pills.
like vitamins, like probably like a vitamin store.
Okay.
Probably Shoppers Drug Mart would have them.
I know
Have it.
Simo's a believer. Shout out to Simo. I know he's a believer.
Yeah.
Okay,
I know
so
quite a few people who do it, but I'm not convinced that it.
well, mom used to tell you about that and you'd laugh in her face and tell her she was crazy.
Not on a daily basis. I think when you're traveling, it might make sense.
Okay.
But I don't know. Who knows?
Okay, so you're willing to try that.
Yeah.
And what about like blue light blocking stuff to try to get your body?
Well, obviously, I'm bringing the mask, the eye mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like okay.
But yeah.
I've not. Are you going to like? So there's no Wi-Fi on the plane. I've asked Oliver. I'm a little disappointed.
There's no Wi-Fi on the plane? I thought they said there was.
I texted him and he said no.
Oh, that sucks. Well, I mean, maybe it doesn't suck. I'll have to have Civilization 6 on my laptop or something. But
it's probably a good thing in hindsight. I was like, oh, I'll catch up on emails and whatever.
Yeah.
It's probably a good thing. Just immerse yourself in the experience and
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Focus on your sleep, focus on stretching, rolling out, talking to other people. Like, are you going to do that stretching and rolling in the gun and all that?
No, I don't stretch. I'm not going to.
I did zero of that on my run with Rob, and Joel's like, the most important thing, you have to just make sure.
Maybe like you could stretch after each race. I think that would make sense, but
it definitely won't harm. I'm wondering if I should actually commit to it this time. I've never been a stretching kind of guy, and maybe I should. Because I think there's enough research and data that shows it's probably beneficial. It's probably going to be better. Right?
So yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of research also that shows that like it's can slow you down in races if you do it before. So that's why I said after.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
And actually cause injuries actually if you do it before.
No, I wouldn't do it before. I would just do it after. I'd roll it out after, kind of on the plane as we're getting to the next spot, on our way to the next spot before I fall asleep. That's kind of what.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, for me it really helped when I had my Well, I'm realizing now that my plantar fasciitis was 2 years ago. So yeah. When I started stretching out my calf regularly, it helped with that.
Oh, when you started stretching, the pain went away?
Well, it helped me heal, I feel.
Yeah. Have you set some A, B, C, D goals for this thing?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all. I have like zero confidence in my ability to run right now. So
fast to run fast.
It's painful to run. Like it's gonna be a lot. It's a lot of running. So I want to set my expectations low because it's gonna be hard.
Okay, fine. I get that you're setting expectations low, but you just finished third in a 100-miler. Like you can't say that you're not. You just qualified for Ironman World. Like you're fit right now, don't you think? You might not have the speed because you haven't done.
No, that was a while ago. Like so, I hate to say this again, but I gained like 25 pounds right since, and so that makes it hard. I feel like I'm in decent shape except for the extra 25 pounds.
Okay.
So
that's that it's.
If I wouldn't have that extra 25 pounds, I think it would be a lot easier.
Okay. I respect that. You think you're just going to be slower, which will make it harder.
And more effort. Like I have to spend more effort to move that extra distance. But Patrick said it's good to be strong. Apparently, if you have more weight, you might be stronger. But so like we were doing the the track workouts that you missed, and I was like the slowest guy there. They're like, I guess there's a lot of fast guys in that group. It's crazy.
Yeah, there are some fast guys in that group.
But yeah, I did a 12:10 for 3,000 meters, which is, I mean, I don't think I killed myself to get it, but
all right, so right around 4 minutes per K.
Yeah.
So ChatGPT tells me that should be about 45 seconds to a minute per mile. Yikes, really?
Yeah, that's why I'm that slow. So I feel like
per mile.
So I feel like if I deduct that, then I would be a decent runner. Okay. I mean, it's still a good runner, but I mean, like, I'd be close to where I want to be if I just lose 25 pounds. If I could magically lose 25 pounds tomorrow, I would be pretty close. I'd be pretty close to where I want to be.
Okay, let me ask you this. Day one, we're in Antarctica, gun goes off, your first mile. I know it's tough to say because of the ground, but assuming Winnipeg conditions, let's just call it, what pace do you think, what level of effort, perceived rate of effort or pace are you going to start going out at?
Like 10 minutes per mile.
You're just going to do 10 minutes per mile and just make sure you finish it and get it under your belt.
See how it feels. I have a kind of a hope that maybe I could do them all under 4. Yeah. And I know that
so there's a goal.
It's a hope, not a goal. So the thing is that I'm really worried that first Antarctica marathon will be the hardest one. And with that extra effort that you have to do because of the surface, that if I try to do a sub 4 on that one, it might kill me for the other 6. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying I want to do Antarctica like by feel. And if I feel like it's realistic to do it in 4 hours without killing myself, then I'll do it. And then if not, then I'll revise. But it would be nice to get them all under 4.
If you're like swimming in slush, like 4 hours is not doable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
I looked at the historical times. Did you look at the historical times? There was one year like everyone was at like 4.5, 5 hours.
Yeah.
For Antarctica. So, I don't know if it was a blizzard or if it was slushy.
Yeah.
Like yeah. And then after that, once you're on the road and you're confident, then you're gonna push a little bit. And
I feel like if I do the first one in 4, then the other ones will be slightly easier with my nice shoes and the road, and the hot ones we'll have to be careful for. But
different issues though, right? Different. Plus you'll be tired by then too.
What about you? Like you, I know you had originally said 4, but
I mean,
but you haven't been you haven't been running at all, or is it just by choice because you can't, or is it just because you want to save yourself for this?
No, I went to Phoenix and I didn't take any time off after the 100 miler. I probably should have, but I didn't. And I just kept running. I felt good-ish. I was kind of blind to this whole I'm injured thing. And I did a trail race in the mountains in Phoenix, and it was like rocks and elevation and a ton of like wobbly footing. It was like
uneven surfaces.
Yeah. And my hips just started barking early, and like the destabilization, and they just kept barking and barking, and they just kept. And at the end, I was like, "Holy, can I finish this?" I was like, just finish it. Quit your whining. Like, just finish it. And I finished, and then I had my like the next day, my right hip was just swollen, and there was a one dot of red, and I was like, that's odd. And then the next day, it was like that big, and then it became that big, and I had this bruise, internal bleeding bruise on my hip, bigger, like it was like that big, and I couldn't move my leg. So
God, that sucks.
So it was bleeding from the inside, and it was tissue damage. So
well, at least it's not bone, I guess.
Yeah,
I've heard of people like having like their clavicle broken. The hip bone, like, or whatever that bone is.
No, like
like the pelvis bone being broken, or the hip, like
I'm fine. I just overworked it, and then I just needed time off. I'll tell you what.
That sounds really painful.
It was very painful. It was very painful, and it was extremely tender to the touch. I couldn't sleep because it was very hard. But then it started to get better. And then what happened is my sleep scores. I've been dealing with this core thing, and I had to pee all the time, and I've been everything just my HRV immediately back to normal. I stopped running, and I felt great. So I felt terrible mentally. I hate it when I'm not running, but I felt great physically. My body started recovering. I felt great. I'm just itching to go. And I went to see Q like a week and a half ago, and he said another week. So then I went to see him last week. He said another week. And then I went to see him yesterday, and he said, just my physio. And he said, you're good to go. So I ran today for the first time, and I was like itching to go.
Congrats. Yeah.
Yeah. And it feels so good. So I'm excited about how I feel.
Oh, so you're going to crush it because you had this 3 weeks off, and you're like,
I mean, I don't know. Clearly I've lost some fitness. My
obviously, Garmin you're going to lose a bit of fitness, but you'll be fresh.
My Garmin thinks I'm a 3 hour and 40-minute marathoner right now. So maybe that's accurate. I don't know. But I don't.
I bet you. I bet you. I look and it'll still say like 3:15. I haven't looked, but like the reality is, if my life depended on it, I think I'm a 3:35. 3:35.
No, you're better than that, Charlie. I think you're. Anyways, I know you're downplaying. So I'm confident it's gonna go well, assuming this thing doesn't flare up and I'm good.
Yeah.
But I mean, I haven't run it. This is all. And I'm.
But it'll be so much fun though to do it in all these different countries.
This morning, I didn't even know why I was in such a good mood this morning.
Yeah. It's because you ran
about this jog, and then I had jogged, and then I came upstairs and I was hugging the kids, and I was like,
so did you do it in the hell frozen over Winnipeg?
No, I didn't. You did it I'm depressed about. I did it on my treadmill because it just got repaired, and I was out of a treadmill for about a year, and I got it repaired when I was in Phoenix, and. Oh man, the no overhead of just going downstairs and running on your treadmill. I was excited about that. I was in such a good mood, and I didn't realize that I was in a good mood. It just happened automatically because I went for a 30-minute run. I felt so good. So I'm excited about that. And I don't want this to sound like I'm whining about my injury. To be clear, I'm not. I just overran a bit. It took some time off, and I'm excited now about this thing. Like I'm really pumped. Yeah. I hope that it survives and holds out, and I think it will. But it would be like that Antarctica race might be.
I think if Q gave you the okay, he'll be fine.
Yeah, he's and then I'm doing like 45 minutes tomorrow, and then like this weekend I think I can go up to 15K. I think. What are you doing this weekend?
0. So that's what I like. I don't know. I don't know why 0. It doesn't. So I'm going to complain, Patrick. If you're hearing, like I don't think I need to take a whole week off before this 7 days.
It felt unreal taking a week off for what it's worth. So next time I do something crazy like 100-miler, Charlie. Yeah. But the next time it'll be more than that.
Take 2 weeks off.
I'm going to take 2, and you mark my word and remind me of this. Like it's remarkable what it did for my body. How it was a give and take because you feel depressed because you're not running. But physically, you're like, oh my God. And then you're just antsy to get back out there. So anyways.
Maybe I should take 2 weeks off after something.
It's impossible to do for us. Like I'll never forget the time we were in Vegas, Charlie. We ran. You went downstairs and you ran that next morning. You went and did 5 miles or something. 6 miles. You did 6 miles. And I was like, how was he running 6 miles today? I was hungover because I had gotten drunk that day.
Though,
but like you couldn't take a day off.
Yeah. Okay. So wait, we're kind of running out of time here.
Yeah. We're running out of time. But here's the thing: we'll record an episode in Cape Town next week.
Okay. Can I talk about my heat training?
Yes. Sorry, heat training. Let's go.
Okay. So I did this.
Sauna.
Yeah. So. Patrick put a bunch of heat training runs in my.
It was in mine too. I
didn't really know what to do, so what I did was I would dress up as I would go for outside, but even a bit warmer. So I had like 3 layers of pants. the nice warm long johns, the things.
You were dressed up as though you were gonna do like shovel the driveway,
like minus a million degrees.
Yeah.
But I did it inside, so I had like 3 layers. I had 4 layers. I had like my underlayer, another shirt, a sweater, plus another hoodie over top, and I would put my hoodie over top, and I'd go and I'd run on the track indoors. And and incredibly, my heart rate would like just go really, really, really high, even though I was running at like usually I would do these at like a 9 minute per mile pace. And then the last time I did it, I was like, okay, I need to really do some heat training here. So I need to get warm quicker. So I started off like immediately at like 8:45 a mile and like sped up throughout. And at the end, I didn't realize this until I looked at my heart rate after. Like I was only doing like 8-minute miles at the end, but my heart rate was like 181.
Wow. And that's the highest you've been in a while, probably.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I did is then I went with all my clothes into the sauna for 15 minutes. And when I started, I went in there, my heart rate was 117 because I had just done my run. And just sitting there, it increased to 132.
Honestly, those guys.
I don't know if it's gonna help, but
it will for sure help, Charlie.
First time I've ever done that. So I did like probably like 6 or 7 of those. The heat runs, anyways.
It's gonna help. I maybe I told this story when I was in Italy, and they had this room, they had this place where they had like the ice bath, they had the sauna, they had the steam, there was like 4 or 5 things, and you would do them back to back to back. And I would do that every morning after my run. And I felt like $1 billion when I walked out of there. Yeah. And I was just thinking, man, if I had an infinite amount of money, I would build this in my backyard. I would replicate this. I felt so good. It was that good. So I don't know whoever invented this is the Norwegians.
I think there's stuff you can buy that is very similar to that you could do.
Well, I think I need to look into it. Because for me, those days, like I didn't do what you did there, but I believe it's a big part of it. The get your body heat up with the steam or the sauna or whatever. Felt so good. So I'm a believer. I'm not a doubter. I'm a believer.
Yeah. Anyways, so that was an interesting wrinkle in my training that I'd never done before, which was at the same time, like I was kind of looking forward to them, but at the same time, I'm glad they're done. So
I know why you're looking forward to them, because it's the equivalent of like your midweek tempos or whatever when you're doing your marathon build, right? Because you knew you had to work hard to get them done, right?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Like so I'm secretly excited about like the build after this already, because those midweek builds. Obviously, I gotta just bear down and try to break 4 hours at all of these marathons. And what do you think?
Wait. So that's your goal? Same as me?
That's my goal. Yeah.
I thought you had mentioned that maybe you'd want to try to win Antarctica.
I can't win Antarctica now with my hips, right? There's no way. Like I don't want to.
But what if you can see the leader and he's right there?
Well, yeah, of course I'm going to go for it. It's a race. So yeah. And I know that if I kill myself on the first one, I know I can recover pretty quick. I know I've done this before, and I'm pretty sure I can recover. Although I've never done like 16 hours of flying in between my next race there, but I'm not going to win. There's guys that are doing like 250s, right, at every one of these.
Yeah.
Have you stalked the competition and seen what their PBs are on Strava and stuff?
No, I did that for the 100-miler, but I haven't done that for.
Okay, I haven't done it either. We'll have time. So, what do you?
Johnny K, too fast.
Is that Jeans? No, it's not Jeans. That's the guy in Utah.
That's the guy who ran the 40-minute 10K.
Man, 40-minute 10K. Jeez, after doing 100 miles, that's impressive. That backyard took a chunk out of me. Holy smokes, took a chunk out of me. Crazy that I look back now a month and a half after, and I'm so glad we did it, and we like you crushed it, but I also crushed it. But man, it's for real doing 100-miler. Like,
yeah,
it's not like
you have to commit. You have to. I don't know if I. You don't need that. Recovery. You don't need that much training. You need the recovery.
You need to commit to the recovery.
It's the opposite time. Like, so let's say you want to train for Boston. or to qualify for Boston. You have to commit like 16 weeks, 12, 16 weeks before, where you're going to be intense training, and that's it. Or an Ironman similar. Ironman maybe a bit longer. But for these, if ever I were to do another backyard, I have to book off 2 or 3 months after.
Yeah,
instead.
and what you do,
I don't really need to train for it, but
what you do is you do it right after your build. You do it like maybe 2 weeks after your marathon or your Ironman. Or whatever, maybe, 3 or 4 weeks. A reasonable period of time after you're pretty good shape, you've recovered, and you go do this 100-miler, then you take your 3 months to recover.
Yeah, maybe that's what you do.
Or 2 months.
Well, it's kind of what I did with the Ironman, right? So it was 4 weeks after. It was 5 weeks.
Yeah, and you were in unreal shape. You won that race. You finished third in that race. Like you were.
Well, I was not in as good shape as if I would have done it, I think, like a week or 2 weeks after the Ironman. I would have been in way better shape.
Yeah, I don't know what like physiologists would tell you about that. Maybe you.
I think my body. Yeah, I needed maybe a bit of recovery, but I think
3 weeks, maybe.
I think 2. I think my fitness would have been like
maybe 2. Your body's recovered.
2 or 1. Yeah.
Wow, not 1. Not 1. 2.
2. Okay, maybe.
Yeah, you came off that. You crushed it. I think if I'm doing it again, that's what I'm doing. And a build for like an Ironman. Although that means I have to do another Ironman, so I don't know about that. But then you just take time off after. It's crazy. Okay, all right. This is a good episode.
I'm happy you're back to running.
Yeah, me too. I'm happy I'm back too, and I'm more aware now. The more of these you go through, it's just part of life. You can't just be depressed because you're not running. Like, just get over it. Like, not get over it, but it's real. It exists.
That's why you have a bike.
Yeah, I biked and then I got injured on my it made it worse on the bike. So,
oh no.
Okay. So Q told me no more bike. So like I did nothing.
What about the pool?
I could have gone to the pool, but I hate the pool.
Stairmaster, the rower.
Yeah, no, he said just do nothing. Can you just do nothing? Sure. I'll do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so I'm excited about this. We leave by the time you guys listen to this podcast, we'll be a few days away from leaving, a week away from running. By the time you listen to this podcast, we will record another episode live from Cape Town, and then we will record snippets throughout the race. And I'm going to have my GoPro and we'll keep you guys up to date. Make sure to follow my Instagram, Run with Rob CMV, for the latest. I'll be posting quite a bit on there. Charlie, you don't have any of that? It's just, you're not going to post. You don't post.
No, I don't. I have 0 career Instagram posts.
Yeah. So follow mine if you want, and follow our Stravas, Rob Tatro, Charlie Tatro on our Strava. If you want to see us where we are day by day, you'll see some interesting movement in our Stravas over the next week. So thank you guys for tuning in. Anything else, Charlie?
Yeah, we'll have to plan out our strategy to achieve our goals here.
Yeah,
we'll have a couple flights to do that.
Yeah, we got some time.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Rob, my brother Charlie. We are The Running Journey. Like, subscribe, give us a 5-star review. We could use some 5-star reviews. Listen, all of you guys have a Google account or a Hotmail account or whatever. Just go wherever you listen to our podcast, press the 5 stars there. That helps us out a ton. If you care about us and our podcast, we appreciate it. It's an aggressive beg here that I'm doing, but I'm okay with it. Thank you, guys. We are The Running Journey. And remember, more miles, less pace. 7 marathons, 7 days, 7 continents next week. Let's go.